You are listening to Spilling the Tea, a real estate podcast with Kristy Macero and Shelagh Maychek.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spilling the Tea, a real estate podcast with your hosts, myself, Kristy, and Shelagh Maychek. Today, Spilling the Tea with us gets ID'd at the local bar, Agent David Smith, and Shelagh's lovely sister-in-law, mother of two, and extreme cookie baker, Tina Taylor.
I had no idea you were going to bring that up. I can't believe it. I'm 36 years old, and I'm told that in Canada you have to be 19 to enter a pub. Yeah, I'm literally double the age.
Well,
Not
you know,
quite.
Yeah.
It is. If I was 18, I should get kicked out.
They just don't know that you're 36 on the inside, or you're 63 on the inside, but 36 on the outside. They don't know you're an old soul.
A gray beard.
They just thought you look young, buddy. Yep. So our topic today, sorry everyone, our topic today is all about home security systems becoming more and more common. They offer real-time alerts, motion detection, video monitoring, analytics, as well as fire protection, which is kind of cool. It's no wonder that the increased popularity in home surveillance has made it for some interesting situations with homeowners being able to be a fly on the wall for all their home selling situations.
Snooping.
Mm-hmm.
The Straits Research Center did a study regarding doorbell camera market size and concluded that North America is the most dominant region. It's estimated to reach an expected value of $915 million US by 2030.
Wow.
That's a lot of cameras.
It's a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
So let's get into some tea spilling, Shelagh. Tell us, do you have a home security system? You got cameras?
If there's any criminals listening,
if you're a criminal,
yeah, I have so many cameras. No, I actually don't have a home security system at all.
And what is your address?
Yeah. And where do you live?
Yeah.
Do you have any cameras inside your house?
I do. Actually.
What? You have inside and not outside?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're inside.
Yeah. Okay. No comment.
Where are they?
They're in the cat room. They're for the cats. Of course.
They're in the cat room. So unless you had a cat burglar,
oh,
you wouldn't know.
That's classic
It's
Kristy
pretty bad.
Yeah.
How often do you look at these cameras?
When we first got the cats, it was hourly. But now, not so much. Now it's just once if we're away on holiday.
It's so interesting that you're like, you know what? It's been 55 minutes. I should probably check in on the cat.
In Shelagh's defense, she had adopted rescues that were traumatized, so watching them even come out of their beds was like a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
and she loves cats.
I almost felt bad there, but no, they're still cats. Let's go.
Shelagh, when your house was for sale and you had that Ring doorbell outside, did you watch the buyers come?
I may have watched just to make sure people were actually going in. And like, okay, yeah, the showing's there now, so I know they're in. So I know they're going to take a half hour if they're late. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to come home for another extra 15 minutes because they're running behind. So I would for sure click on that thing.
So did you look? Were you like, who are they?
I might have snooped.
Yeah. Which is pretty common. Yeah. In my house, we absolutely have cameras outside, and everybody knows this because I actually posted a video online of me walking out to pee my dogs in the backyard, and it was before we had turf, and there was a giant big puddle, and I slipped and I went into the puddle.
It was Bambi on ice.
It was very moist, and I could not believe it was like a freezing cold, and I sat there and I was like, oh my God. And I got up slowly. And
You're in your pajamas.
I was in my pajamas.
Remind us where this is posted?
Yeah. It's online.
I can get it to you, don't worry.
Thank you.
I literally had someone in my office last week be like, oh, your video was so funny about you falling in the dirt. And this was just last week. And of course, I posted that years ago.
Oh, wow.
And you want to know who found that video really fun? She did ask me if I was okay. But Shelagh couldn't breathe when we rewatched it, and she's trying to keep really quiet. And
you scared your own dog.
She's crying. Yeah, my shepherd leapt back in fear, because I fell so quickly.
Yeah, and you just froze. You just didn't move. You didn't move at all, and your dog came to check on you. And of course, I can see you starting to get up, but I know, and I can see the ick from however far away it is. I'm like, You're really wet right now.
It was very wet, very cold, very shocking on the bottom. I'll be honest with you. I was in my
I would
pajamas.
imagine.
It was like, whoa, like an ice cold enema. Okay, so Tina,
Yes.
do you have cameras in your home?
Yes. But not on the outside.
Okay, so what's your primary reasoning for having those cameras?
So we have 3. One is in each kid's bedroom. So this is like a Wi-Fi camera that you can log in, obviously, from not being there.
Right.
And one is in our garage.
Oh, okay.
So we have them, pretty much the one in the garage is to make sure my husband closes the garage door when he leaves the house.
That can happen.
And that one will give me an alert if it senses movement.
Right.
In the kids' bedrooms, we live in a townhouse and we have Wi-Fi cameras in there so we can go to our neighbor's house for a drink when kids are sleeping.
Nice. Okay. Very,
Prudent
very
planning.
very practical uses. How long have you had them installed for?
Probably like 3.5 years.
Okay. And was there a reason why you installed the one in the garage?
Yes.
Like, okay. So was it just that the door was left open?
Yes.
Okay. Like, did something happen, or were you just like, damn it, close
We
the
had it and it just happened to be left open.
We live in an area with a lot of porch pirates. So
porch pirates?
yeah, just I guess to make sure no one's in our garage when my husband leaves it open.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that we're both the spouse that has the spouse that leaves the garage.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's
I
true.
hope Amanda's not listening to this,
Yeah.
but if she is, you know it's true, babe.
Evan, who by the way is Sheila's brother, would 1,000% deny this, but
Oh,
it is true.
we have
gonna-
it recorded.
yeah.
It's a fact
It's
now.
a fact now.
It's a fact.
It's on the internet, and no one can fact check it.
I can
It is a
bring up
fact.
the neighborhood group chat as proof because we've been notified that it's open through that as well.
Yeah.
And that time I did go see who was going to go close the garage door for us.
Right.
And it was very entertaining to see someone hit the button and then dodge out of the
Because they have to run.
yeah
Jump
to
the
get the
laser.
line.
man.
Yeah, jump the laser.
And then once I realized like, oh, this is mean, I was like,
style.
just open my car door and use the clicker,
Yeah.
and then throw it back in the garage.
I love that so much.
It's like the Ocean's 10 or 11, the one where all the laser beams are going around. The guys.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I picture in my head when someone's trying to run out of the garage really quickly.
I imagine that's what you
I
picture.
can almost in my head, I can hear the sound of a garage door
Yeah.
being hit by someone's head.
Painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina, do you have many friends and family that own cameras? Like, that's pretty commonplace in your family, or?
Not so much actually.
Okay.
I think I like one person in my family that I'm aware of anyways, and one close friend that I know of.
That's awesome. Okay. We're going to go to David now. Now, for the people who are listening and can't see us, David and I are actually wearing plaid, and it looks like we're in some form of gang.
Yeah. Dangerous Scottish gang.
David, would you join a gang with me?
I think we're already in one.
I think we are. Can you talk a little bit about the gang that we belong to?
We're in a gang that used to be called Fight Club. And now we don't even know why it's called the Healthy Curry Club.
It is.
And we seem to have forgotten why we called it that. But one night late on a WhatsApp chat, we decided that we were called the Healthy Curry Club.
It's true. There's about 9 of us that are in that group.
Yes. We've been together for 6 years now.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And we help each other.
It's the longest group project ever.
I know. And just like most group projects, one person does all the work. And it's Kristy.
I was gonna guess.
I wonder who that is.
Keeps us organized and does
Yes.
not let us get up from a table until we have the next date on the calendar, and she'll be the one that sets the agenda, and then
Yes.
we'll all show up and have lots of fun, but also help each other be good at what we do.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So David
What was
Smith,
it called again?
It's called Healthier Curry Club.
The Healthier
Got
Curry
it.
Club, yeah.
I don't know why.
Making sure I heard that right.
Yeah, you did. Oh, you did. Yeah.
Now I want curry.
Yeah, we'll order some. So David and I belong to the same brokerage, same as Gary Voigt. You're going to see him in a different podcast. David, talk a little bit about the brokerage really quickly because he is part owner. What can you tell us?
So Royal LePage Wollstonecroft.
Yes.
We are based out of Langley. We have agents all throughout the Fraser Valley and the Lower Mainland. I believe by the time this is released, it will be public knowledge, but we did make it as the #1 brokerage in the Fraser Valley, which is great news, and all thanks to our agents, and that was based on both volume and dollar volume. So we're proud of all our agents and glad
That's
that
super cool.
people like you are taking on the leadership roles in the brokerage as well.
Oh,
Congratulations,
thanks.
guys.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're pretty excited. We love our brokerage, so we have no problem speaking highly about it because it's true.
Yep.
So it's super, super cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So back on topic, do you own a smart home security system?
I do. I own an Arlo system. And honestly, I am so angry at Arlo.
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay,
I
tell us
didn't-
about
This
it.
is the tea.
What does it do?
I'm going to spill this tea. I got an email. I didn't expect to talk about this, but now that you asked me,
Nobody, if you're not watching, he has his hands on his
I
hips.
did. I just put my
And
hands
I
on
don't
my
know
hips.
him. but
I'm
he's
tearing up
pissed.
a little bit
He
right
does
now.
seem pissed.
Jeremy on the media right now
you can laugh,
is laughing.
Jerry. You laugh. It's okay.
They just increased my monthly subscription from $12.99 to $19.99
What?
monthly.
That's some Disney gouging right there.
And
Yeah.
here's the problem, right? These cameras, unless I pay the monthly, which I was not paying originally when I purchased this system, which I've spent hundreds, thousands of dollars on all these cameras all over the house, including like a one that lights up over the garage.
Ooh.
Like I thought this is a great buy, but now or maybe a year ago or so, I'm so heated about this I can barely get the words out.
Okay, bring it on. Bring it on.
Like a year
Let it out,
ago,
David. Just
I'm
let it
gonna-
out.
I'm just gonna go. Y'all need to shut up and let me rant about Arlo. So about a year ago, I get an email saying, okay, you need to go on a subscription, and all of your footage will be stored in the cloud. There is no and all of a sudden I'm paying for this. I wasn't paying for it before.
Oh.
So I was paying $12.99, and then on the weekend they upped it to $19.99, and my cameras are basically just decorations unless I now pay this. So
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
particularly happy
So
with
it's kind of holding you hostage to the system.
holding me hostage, exactly.
Okay, and do they own the hardware?
I own the hardware.
Okay.
That's the problem. I
Yeah.
bought the freaking hardware. I've
I'm sure they're
upgraded the
great
base
cameras.
station. So I don't know if you wanted me to go on that rant, but I clearly needed to have it.
I feel like we just woke the Kraken.
Yeah, so
right?
don't buy Arlo systems, guys.
Watch out for
They're
the
never going to be a
subscriptions.
sponsor here. I'm
How-
afraid, ladies. Sorry.
How often do you look at your camera system?
I'd say daily.
Okay.
Yeah, most days.
What was your primary use and reason for getting them?
I think detection and deterrence are
Okay.
really, really important. I think if a potential criminal, a porch pirate, as Tina put it, sees cameras around your home, I think that's pretty key.
Yeah.
That's why I got the one that kind of lights up the whole garage as well, so that people know that they're on camera. So I got it for that. It's also just nice to know, as the kids are running around outside the house and that kind of thing, I can see my daughter
Right.
cycle by on her bike with her little purple helmet, and it's brilliant. So I love it.
That is excellent.
I go on a walk around my neighborhood, and somebody has a motion sensing camera, which is fine, light comes on, but it announces on a loudspeaker, you are being recorded. And it will do it no matter what time of day you're at. So I can't.
How loud is it?
It's pretty loud.
Oh my
I'm
God,
walking-
let's
I would
do
be a
it.
disgruntled neighbor.
Yeah.
No, let's do it.
I'm on
Let's-
the sidewalk. The front yards are pretty big, and it is announcing really loudly, "You are on camera," which is fine, great. But I couldn't imagine being a neighbor with your master
No,
bedroom
that'd
right
be
there.
really annoying.
Oh my gosh, we should definitely go walk past
And,
that person's house
People-
10 times.
You live in a walkable neighborhood. I feel
Yeah.
like people would
Yeah.
walk by that a lot.
But they do.
So we're gonna go into our scenarios here.
Okay.
And I just want to go over privacy laws. So homeowners are allowed to have cameras in and outside their home. Okay. Some stratas they have rules about privacy.
If they're mounted outside.
Yeah, more and more.
But even that, they have to approve. 'cause
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
The membrane and
Yeah.
That's right. So it's common property,
property.
but a lot of stratas are becoming more receptive to this because it's very important, and home deliveries are so rampant now. So you're allowed to have
Rampant home deliveries.
rampant.
Just happening all
They're
over
everywhere.
the place.
Amazon
Thank you,
Prime.
COVID.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, COVID. So you've got these cameras inside and outside of people's home, and when you're going to go purchase a home, there's actually no expectation for privacy inside or outside somebody's home, except for the bathroom. Okay, understandably, because if not, then you're going to get charged with voyeurism because there is an expectation of privacy in a bathroom.
I feel
Fair.
like you've looked
Okay.
into this.
I flipped into what?
You've looked into
Looked
this.
Oh, I've looked into it.
Yeah.
So I actually know someone who was charged with voyeurism because he had a recording device in his wife's bathroom and in their guest bedroom while the wife had friends over.
Why did he have a camera in the bathroom?
It was a recording device in the bottom of a bathroom, and he
It's
was
like audio.
he
Oh,
was
So he was a
He's a
voyeur.
creeper.
he full blown was
Oh, okay.
charged. It
Sorry,
is-
I thought it was
is
like
charged.
accidental.
No, you can
I was like, my
ooh,
camera
what?
there.
you can look it up. I do
Okay.
know somebody that did. They were charged. You
Yeah,
cannot, and it
good.
was his house. You cannot have recording devices in a bathroom or where there's expectations of privacy. When you're house hunting and you're walking through someone's home and you're outside, even those Ring doorbells or anything like that, you have no expectation of privacy.
No.
Okay. So we're going to get into our first scenario. Tina,
Sure.
your home's for sale.
Okay.
Okay. You're listening to the clients make fun of your family photos. You're listening to the clients hate your freshly renovated choices. First off, as a homeowner, if your home was for sale, would you listen in?
1000%.
One-
I will admit that I am probably one of the nosiest people you will ever meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would definitely, like, they go into the baby's room, you're like, baby camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too nosy and I can't help it.
You're the person I warn my clients about.
Probably. Yeah.
You're probably
It's honestly why we always talk about, we live in a townhouse, we always talk about buying a home.
Right.
I don't think I'd be able to have basement tenants
Oh, okay.
because I would be way too nosy.
You'd install cameras. No, just kidding.
I wouldn't go that far,
Yeah.
but I would be like way too nosy.
Right.
Look into them as much as I can. Like, it'd be awful.
I have never heard that reason for not having a rental suite before.
I have a rental suite, but
Fascinating.
it's a condo where not near me,
Separate.
so I
Right.
can't spy on him.
So it's not basement.
not within driving distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can drive there, but it's
It'd
out
be
of the way.
I don't do it that often.
So say you were listening in and you heard somebody point at your family photos and say a comment that's like offhand or because people, unfortunately, people are rude. People
Oh,
are,
totally.
right? Especially if they don't
I've
think.
been a home buyer.
Yeah. Okay. So you're walking through someone else. No, but as a homeowner, how would you pretend you know? Would you pretend you don't know?
I would pretend like I don't know.
Okay.
What people think of me doesn't really bother me too much. If they didn't like how we renovated something, I get it because I've been to places where we haven't liked what they've renovated. So, yeah, I don't really care.
Okay. I like it.
I wouldn't say anything, I should say. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't
Yeah.
tell the realtor, like, oh, I heard them say this.
Yeah.
And it
This couple
bothered
at
me.
1:30 said something about my faucet.
Yeah.
David, have you ever had a home?
100%.
Have you ever had a homeowner listen in and call?
Yes, and be offended. And I'm like, oh, guys, come on. We talked about this. This
Right.
isn't a wise idea.
Right. So if they listen in and they're going to listen, then you just
I-
warn them up front. You're
I warn them up front.
Right.
Just as I warn my buyers up front, hey, just assume that you're being recorded everywhere. But let's say in this instance, we're talking about the sellers. They hear something potentially offensive. I'm like, look, their money is green. Let's not get in the way of your own goals. Let's not take offense, and let's look past that because they're bringing us a solid offer or something like that.
So if you had somebody write an offer, Tina, if you had somebody write an offer on your home and you had heard these items and maybe they talked numbers or they talked about adjusting the price or anything that was really confidential,
yeah.
that would be really hard to pretend like you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I
would
didn't think
you
about that.
How would you use that information? Like, would you use it to your advantage or?
I guess it would depend on which way it was swaying.
Okay.
Right? Because like if they're saying something negative and then they decide, well, we're going to offer a lower price because we're going to have to redo the floors or repaint or whatever. I feel like that's like on the home buyer to be responsible for those costs and that you shouldn't like make us pay for that kind of technically, right? Like if they lower the price, it'd be kind of like we're paying for those renos.
Right.
And it's very rare I feel that people buy a home and have to do nothing to it unless it's like a new build and
course.
you've designed it yourself.
Okay.
It's very rare.
So you're going to make adjustments depending on the information that's coming in.
Yeah, if they were rude and whatever and like David said, like their money's green.
Yeah.
For me.
That's great. That's a really
Yeah.
good, that's a very good phrase to use, right?
Yeah, like money's money.
Yeah. Okay, David. Now we use, I've got a little shoe sign that we use in our listings, and on the bottom there's a rider that says, and it's in red, it's in caps locks, it's nice and big. It says you may be on camera with a little camera symbol. Now the homeowner might not even have cameras, but David, if you've got a homeowner with cameras, do you disclose that to people coming in the house?
I have done in the past.
Okay.
I think when it was more unusual, the disclosure was more common. But like you said, Kristy, you can't assume that you have privacy in someone's home.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that disclosure is just becoming less and less common now on the sales side.
Right.
On the buy side, this first comes up because in a buyer consultation with my clients, I always ask like, how are you feeling about the process? And if I get like I'm super excited, I'm very happy. Then I'll be like, okay, well, that actually does influence the way that we navigate this process. So let's say that you walk into it and it's someone that's like, I really want a chef's kitchen.
Right.
And they have that like beautiful kitchen.
Right.
That's an example where I'll be like, let's not freak out over the kitchen, in the kitchen, and just be like, I'll pay whatever they want.
That would be a good warning to me, because I wouldn't think of that. I'd be like, oh my gosh,
I love it.
love this kitchen or whatever. Like,
And I have honestly caught clients sometimes saying things even after that warning, like, how much are they asking? Let's just throw another 50 on or something like that. I'm like, oh, guys, remember the conversation we had in my office the very first time we sat down about the fact that you're probably getting recorded right now?
Yeah.
Like, let's be really cautious.
I guess that can work two ways.
Yeah.
Because if you just go in there and you do love it, but you're like, ugh, this kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that can definitely work two ways.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny.
Just go around
Never thought of
like
that.
knocking things a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think this could be a little bit better.
This tabletop feels a little cheaper, whatever.
This fridge isn't cold.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that's great. So, famous news story now. There was a realtor in British Columbia who was working for the seller, opened up the fridge,
He was
cracked open the milk,
thirsty.
took a sip
Awful.
out of the carton.
How thirsty do you have to be to go for the milk? That's what I don't get.
There was
Why
running
did he use
water.
Hungry too.
Why can't you use a cup? Like, get some milk. Fine.
There's so many questions.
There's so
Yeah, there's
many
questions
questions. I believe they also sat on a couch where it wasn't the proper part of the couch and ended up breaking the couch. And this is this is like for the seller. It wasn't even, I don't know why I feel like it's worse, but it's worse for some reason if it was in a buyer's house. Like, at least they kind of know the seller. But even then, someone's drinking out of the carton. Like, why would anyone ever think that that's okay?
Sorry, it was the seller's realtor?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the listing agent who went in and did this in a
Can you
listing.
imagine being that guy's managing broker and being like, hey, so your clients call me. They were really upset.
Yes.
Why did you drink their milk? Like,
Out of the carton.
Out of the carton.
I feel like that's the most important part.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm
Server
still,
David
hooked,
is like,
I'm still
no.
hooked up on the milk side of things. I'm like, you could have drank anything in the fridge. Why are you drinking this? Is just weird to me.
So, Tina, as a homeowner, like, what would you do? Like, I'm not talking Sheila if Sheila listed your home.
Right, yeah.
I'm
And
talking
Helping
like,
myself to your fridge.
Yeah.
yeah, we're talking
Yeah, and
like,
that is difficult because, like, the realtor we did use is a family friend.
okay,
Yeah, that would be concerning because you are trusting this person to be in your home, and I feel like there's a level of expectations that that person's going to care for your home while they're there.
Yeah.
I would not be upset if they help themselves to a beverage, because upon leaving, we would probably say, oh, help yourself. I would expect that they use a glass.
But even if a client said to me, like, help yourself, and I was really thirsty, there's no way I'm doing it without texting them first,
Yeah.
right? Like, come on. Just a quick text to say, hey, can I please have some, still can't get past the milk thing, but milk.
Really needed the 2%.
I
of the
promise I'll use a glass. Like, there's so many things that were overridden here.
yes,
Yeah.
and we do have that a lot. We had a set of clients that said, oh, just make yourself at home, have
Sure.
a beer if you want or whatever. But
Yeah.
again, there's especially with COVID, like crossing the line.
I was
where
going to
you're
ask
putting-
when this happened because
right,
Yikes.
yeah. So that was just such a
Within the last 2 years.
yeah.
it's already like risky having people in your home
Yeah.
in the middle of a pandemic. So
Right.
Yeah.
and
A
then to see
person's
someone
milk
put their
is
what
sacred.
else did he put his mouth on?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you kind of wonder like what else is okay in that person's mind.
Right.
There was a realtor in Vancouver who buyers roll up to a listing. They see grandma's memorial pear tree outside, and then they take out shopping bags out of their car and load up the
all the
family
pears.
pear tree.
Yeah.
Wild.
Like it just.
That's way past due diligence.
Oh my
Like,
god.
So my parents had like a vegetable garden, like a really big one growing up, and like people would steal vegetables.
Oh, man.
So imagine it's the realtor with all their clients, and they
Buyers.
just get out and they get their little shovels and they dig up all the carrots. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Ugh, it's crazy, and I
It
can't
really
imagine.
speaks to people's personalities.
I'd be so angry.
Yeah, to me, it's an ethics thing, right?
Well, it's an invasion also.
yeah.
big time
desecration.
desecration. So, David, have you ever had a situation where your clients listen to the recording? They get it. You said yes. Have you ever had to discuss the cameras up front with your sellers or buyers, and they didn't want you to disclose that the cameras were there?
I don't think I've ever been asked not to disclose. Because we're not required to disclose, though, it's really on the sales side, it doesn't come up particularly often.
Okay.
And I would expect a buyer's agent to be preparing their buyers the way that I'm preparing mine.
Okay, here we go.
Risky.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I know. Not every
they
buyer's
don't work
agent's
here,
as
right?
good as me. Like, come on.
So this is really like the theme of today. Okay. So it is okay for the seller to have cameras. Everybody knows that. It's okay except for the bathroom. Okay, except for the bathroom. But it's really on the buyer's agent to inform their clients, to make sure that they warn them to manage emotions inside the house. My favorite is that they get outside the house so they think they're clear. They think they're free and clear.
Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
And
Ring
that's where the most
doorbell.
cameras are probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got caught the other day on one of my own clients' Ring doorbells,
Oh, no.
basically running away from their dog for about a minute. She opened the door.
Oh my goodness.
I had like light wash jeans on, and everybody knows I'm pretty allergic to dogs. Don't like dogs jumping on me at the best of times.
Yeah.
This seller opens the door. Sorry, we're getting completely sidetracked
No.
again. This isn't another Arlo rant, I promise you. And the dog like runs out immediately, and it's been raining, and we're on this like wooden deck, and the dog's like claws are like just painting my light wash jeans
Oh,
like
my
black.
goodness.
And after like 10 seconds, I'm like, okay. And then like 15 seconds, I'm like, is she gonna grab the dog at some point here? It went on for like a good minute, and I'm just like slowly running around the patio. Well, not even. I'm just running around the patio. at
Your
this point.
dog dodging.
The whole thing was caught on camera, and part of me wants to see that footage, and part of me just hopes it doesn't exist anywhere.
I had Gary Voigt come over to help with a video that we were doing.
Yeah.
And he's very tall. He walked into a spider's web and he freaked. Like
I
he
wanna
was
see that
like,
video.
I deleted it. I'm very loyal. Like I
No.
ended up getting rid of it, but he freaked out. It was fantastic.
Does it have audio? Did he scream?
It did not have audio, but it could.
I heard
can
him
imagine
Yeah.
him screaming.
because I was on the other side of the door when this happened, waiting. We were going to open it, and Jeremy was there, and it had fallen out of the pot light in the soffit, and it just kind of said
What did
hello
it
to him.
sound like, Sheila? Come on.
Might have been high pitch.
Yes. Oh, bud.
A
Yeah.
little surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out and talking cameras with us today. We really appreciate it. And that's all the tea spilling we're going to do. So we hope everybody learned something. We look forward to next time. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Always
coming.
assume you're being filmed.
Always
Thanks for having me.
I didn't use the handle on my cup. I feel like
dear.
a degenerate.
did.
A degenerate.
Thank you for listening to Spilling the Tea, a real estate podcast with Kristy Massero and Sheila Maycheck.